Lowe's and Home Depot or Ace Hardware. This is 3M window insulation tape. I see a lot of it used in mobile homes. I see a lot of it used, throughout the city of Springfield as well. It's a very inexpensive way to create another barrier to keep the heat in your house or the cool in your house and the heat and cool outside of your house. And it goes on the front of the window. Now, is it the most prettiest thing? No. Does it eliminate you using the window? Yes, because you're going to put a film over the front of the window. But if you can take your gas bill from $300 a month to $200 a month, is it a win? I think so. My wife could live with that if I could show her that much of a difference on her windows. So what I want to do is I need a volunteer because I want to show you how easy this is to put this on this window so that you guys know how to do it. You want to do it? All right, come up here and help. You're going to help me out. In this packet, what you get is basically some shrink wrap and some double-sided tape. Okay? So the object is to take the double-sided tape, come along the perimeter of the window, and then we're going to put this plastic on there. Now, I mentioned it was like a shrink wrap plastic. So most people have a hair dryer in their house. With a little bit of heat, we're going to put on that plastic, and all the wrinkles and everything, we're going to try to shrink it down so it looks like a pane of glass is the total goal that we're going to. Sometimes it works perfect. Sometimes it has a little bit of a wrinkle in it, but as long as it's blocking the air from coming in and out, you're a win, especially if you've got old windows that aren't double pane or aren't gas filled, which a lot of you might have, especially if you're in a renter situation. Keep in mind that if you spend $10 or if you buy a package of this that does 5 windows for, I think this was $15, and you save $100 through a winter, is it a win? Yeah. Now, are you going to go out and spend $15,000 for new windows? No, I wouldn't say that. But, some landlords are different. They all work independently, and, some of them are better than others. So, basically, what I need you to do is we're going to take this brand new roll of tape so you can get going. And as you peel this off, you can feel it sticky on that side, okay? So, I want you just to start at the top and come all the way down, and here's a razor blade knife, and cut it off at the bottom, and we're going to put a strip around this side and all the way around this perimeter, okay? We're going to shrink it down and make it as taut as we can so that it doesn't shake and wobble. Even if it's shaking and wobbling, if the breeze isn't coming through, if her curtains ain't going like this now, you won, okay? You got something out of it. The way the two-sided tape is, there's a little bit of gum and then there's a piece of plastic and a little bit of gum on each side. If you can get the plastic to start to come off, then you take goof off or something like that and take the gum off of your woodwork. As you see, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to put this tape on. Well, if you're working at your own house, if it took you an hour to do a window, at what's the going rate for a carpenter? $30 an hour. You do it yourself, and you did 5 windows. Say it's $40 an hour. You saved yourself $200. And these are things that you guys can. There's not a person in this room that can't do exactly what this young lady's doing here. All right, so we got that all the way around. Now the next thing we're going to do, before you take that back side of that tape off, is we want to get a piece of plastic that's somewhat close to the size. This thing comes, it says that it'll do 5 windows that are 3 by 5. So, I got plenty of plastic here for this little window. And I'm not exactly sure which is the 3 or which is the 5, but when you get it all unfolded, you would know. So I'm just going to make an assumption that we're going to need something, oh, about that big right there. So I'm going to trust you with my life. Right down the middle of it there. Push it through there. Just push it right through the center there. Now drag it to you. There you go. All right. So we're going to try to dry fit this and get it as close as we can. Just kind of open it up that way. So you know you got plenty of stuff on all directions. So as long as when she starts to get it to stick, she kind of keeps one area level and works her way down, she's got plenty to trim off, because we can come back with our razor blade knife and trim that all off. Okay, so if I was going to do this window, what I would do is I'd take this piece across the top off. Get it started. There you go. As you can see, it's clear. Okay, so it's not going to be white, and it's not going to jump out at everybody. And once you got curtains on there, it might not be seen hardly at all. All right, so let's take, I'll be your assistant here. So we're going to try to hold this kind of taut and try to keep it square. And we're going to come right up here and just push it, get it up there about an inch above there, because we got plenty. And run one finger down it just like that. That should hold it for us. Okay? Now you got to choose which side you want to work on to. It doesn't really matter. You're going to go around the whole window, making this as taut as you can. But don't get too crazy. Yeah, I would just start right there. Pull your paper back out of the way so it doesn't get onto it. Because once it gets there, it's going to stick, okay? So that's the one thing you got to kind of watch, is that you don't get carried away. And it always helps too, which I did not do. I apologize. That's maybe why she's having a little bit difficult. Clean your window with a little bit of Windex, or make sure your window is good and clean so that tape does stick, because that's the last thing you want to do is have a gap in there or something where it didn't cling. But I know everybody's house is perfectly clean, right? Okay, so I'm going to help you, and we're just going to put this nice and gently, just like that again. Boom. Yep, just run your hand right on down it. Don't worry about all them little wrinkles that are in there just like that. Yep, there you go. You got to see if that one will come out a little bit. All right. Now you just come to the other side and do the same thing. So now we're going to take a hair dryer. Now, we want to get it hot to shrink this up. So we're going to try to get all these little wrinkles out of here so it gets nice and taut and pretty, so that when she has all of her company over, it doesn't look like there's a piece of plastic there. Now, it will melt, okay? This will melt, because it's just a thin piece of plastic. Because you're going to have to get it hot to pull all them wrinkles out of there. So we're going to keep it moving, stay back, and you'll start to see it move and shrink, and you'll know when you're getting too close. If you poke a hole in it, we got more right there, and we'll bring up somebody else, and we'll let them try it. How's that? And you're going to want to cover the whole thing. You can't just worry about a wrinkle here. You're going to try to heat the whole thing up.
So she's on that where the tape is?
Yeah, she's just trying to get the wrinkles out of the main field, because the tape's going to hold the edges, okay? Do you see them going out of it? You can do the same thing on back doors, or if you got a garage door or a basement door that you're not going to be using, you can do the same thing around it, and it'll seal it up, because those sheets are big enough that you can do, maybe not a door that size, but you could do, so you can't even tell that there's a piece of plastic there. Okay?